Hi readers! Don't forget to download your free copy of the 2022 Winter Reading Guide. This year's guide has a total of 30 of the best new books organized across 7 categories with 6 classic novels included as well. We also have a category that's dedicated to the minimalist reader, and the Minimalist Reads list has 8 titles that we highly recommend if you're only planning to pick up a few reads this winter. In the guide, you'll also find some fun recipes, things to do at home, and tips to improve your reading life. So download your free guide and see the books that made the list by visiting bibliolifestyle.com. That's your free copy of the 2022 Winter Reading Guide over at bibliolifestyle.com. I've also included a link in the show notes so you can sign up there. Welcome to the Reader's Couch, a podcast that brings you lively conversations with some of your favorite authors and bookish personalities. Over here, the couch is always booked, but I've moved some books to the side table and fluffed some cushions so I can welcome a guest or two to come lounge with us. Today on the couch, we have 2 readers who've decided to come lounge with us and share the books they're recommending that you gift this holiday season. In part 4 of our 4-part Books to Gift series is Giselle, the book blogger and bookstagrammer behind Giselle Reads on Instagram, and Taylor Simon, the founder of Liberation is Lit, also on Instagram. Because this is the last episode in our 4-part Books to Give series, I will be sharing my 3 recommendations as well. So stay tuned to learn more about the books we're recommending that you gift this holiday season. A brutally honest memoir to keep on your radar is Sea State by Tabitha Lastly. In her mid-30s and newly free from a terrible relationship, Tabitha Lastly quit her job at a London magazine and decided to make good on an idea for a book about oil rigs and the men who worked on them, because she wanted to see what men were really like when no women were around. For 6 months, Tabitha conducted interviews with 103 oil riggers in Aberdeen, Scotland. But her affair with her first interview subject, a married man named Caden, sent her original plan into a tailspin. Sea State chronicles Lastly's months interviewing offshore oil riggers and her affair with Caden, but she also examines the industry's work and home life culture, class, love, and politics. Sea State by Tabitha Lastly is being published by Eco Books, and copies go on sale on December 7th, 2021. So call your local bookseller and get those pre-orders in, or make a request at your local library. This holiday season, gift outside the lines with the 50 Shades as Told by Christian trilogy box set by E.L. James. All 3 novels in the box set are told from Christian's point of view. Grey, Darker, and Freed are now available together in this gorgeous set. Included in the box set is a unique set of 50 Shades postcards and the Freed wedding invitation, and these 2 items will only be available exclusively in this box set. So if you're looking for a last-minute gift for the holiday season and beyond, get your hands on the 50 Shades as Told by Christian trilogy by E.L. James box set. That's available for purchase now online and in bookstores everywhere. Hi readers, welcome again to the Reader's Couch. I'm your host, Victoria Wood. And here on the couch with me is Giselle. She's a book blogger and bookstagrammer, and you can find her mostly sharing all things over on her Instagram account, Giselle Reads. So please welcome to the couch, Giselle. Hey, Giselle.
Hey, Victoria. Thanks so much for having me.
Yay! I'm super excited to have you here. Can't wait to hear about the books you're recommending. But before we go there, I'd love for you to share with our listeners a bit about you, introduce yourself, tell them where they can find you, and whatever it is you have going on right now.
Great. Yeah. Like you said, my name's Giselle. I'm a book lover living in Atlanta, Georgia with my dog Dante. I'm the creator of the blog and Bookstagram account Giselle Reads, which I've had for about 3 years now. Can't believe time flies. And yeah, you can find my blog on gisellereads.com, or you can find my book content and lots of Dante, my dog, pictures on Instagram at Giselle Reads.
You know what? I think the truth is I'm there for Dante, not you, really.
I think that's what most people are there for.
I'm teasing. I still love you too, but I love seeing pictures with Dante as well. But I'm curious, Giselle, how did you discover the Bookstagram community? Because, the more I've been talking to readers and getting to know you guys, both on the platform and here on the podcast, I'm starting to get real curious. How did you discover this sliver of the internet?
Yeah, I started about 3 years ago. I just started reading more. I had just recently quit a very demanding job and found myself with a lot of free time. So I started reading more books, and I was like, oh, I want to find a place to start just like journaling, posting my books that I read. So I just started posting pictures of my books, just like really ugly pictures. They're nothing like what I post right now. And just was like, oh, I really like this book for X and Y reason. And I realized that a lot of people were doing that. So I started following a lot of book reviewers, book accounts, and just stumble into this like amazing community of people that love to just talk about books. So that's how I started. And then I was like more curious. I started dipping into more of like a creative outlet and taking better pictures and writing more. And I started my blog about a year or so after I started my Bookstagram account, just because I like to write longer posts and reach a different kind of like wider audience if possible. I still don't know who reads my blog, but it's really fun to create content for my blog as well as for Instagram.
Absolutely. I can definitely relate to wanting to blog and have a separate website. And trust me, people find it and people read it. And that's always just so interesting. And I can tell you're here and you haven't looked back since.
Yeah.
So, Giselle, tell me about the first book that you're recommending readers pick up and gift this holiday season.
Okay. So my first book is Modern Love, True Stories of Love, Loss, and Redemption, which was edited by Daniel Jones and published in 2019. So this is a collection of essays that includes some of the most popular stories from the Modern Love column in the New York Times. All the stories are very honest, and they tell the larger story of how relationships begin, sometimes fail, and endure. And I picked this book because this is a very, what I would call a giftable book. I made up that word. I don't think it's a real word, but I think it appeals to a wide range of people. It's a collection of essays, which I think those typically make for great gifts because there's something for everyone in there. And that's the case with this particular collection of essays. I also recommend this to someone that's looking for an uplifting read and something to read during the holidays. I like to read this during the holidays because there's so many great love stories that will warm your heart included in here. And as an added bonus, there's a TV series based on these stories as well, which you can watch it after you read the book to see some of those essays come to life.
Wow, that's amazing. And the thing I love with essays are it's not a big commitment to read. You can read a few, put the book down, revisit again. So I think it's also good for like folks who haven't read in a long time or who are easing back into reading. So I'm so happy you gave that recommendation.
Exactly. Yes. This one actually was gifted to me about 2 or 3 years ago by my now husband. So I actually like go back to it sometimes. And I'm like, I remember this one particular essay that I loved and I reread it. So it's a nice book to gift.
Awesome. And what's the second book that's on your list?
So the second book on my list is 50 Words for Rain by Asha Lamy, published in 2020. So this is a historical fiction book and a debut a coming-of-age novel about a young woman's quest for acceptance in post-World War II in Japan. It follows the story of Nori, an illegitimate child of a Japanese aristocrat, and her African-American lover, and everything she endures throughout her life. The writing is beautiful, and the story is definitely captivating. This is one of my favorite books I've read this year. And I love gifting books that I love, obviously to the right person and somebody that I think has similar reading tastes as me. I recommend gifting this to someone that loves historical fiction or loves books like A Woman is No Man. It's another book that I love that this kind of reminded me of. I personally plan on gifting this to my mother-in-law, which has similar reading tastes as me, and I think she would really enjoy this one.
Awesome. And I also loved A Woman is No Man by Etaf From. That was a good one.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
Absolutely. And the third book you're recommending readers pick up is?
The third book is Bibliophile Diverse Spines by Jamise Harper and Jane Mound, which was published in 2021. So this is a book about books that includes a collection of books by authors who are often underrepresented in the literary world. It includes amazing book recommendations and gorgeous illustrations. And the goal of the book is to help readers find diverse books to add to their reading list. So not only is this a gorgeous book, it's also super helpful. I reviewed it earlier this year, and I immediately put together a stack of books that were featured in this book that I hadn't read, but I had in my bookshelves, and I'm prioritizing those over the next few months. So I think this would make a great gift to someone that loves books.
And also wants to add more to their reading life. I think it will have some great suggestions. I too love that book. And like you, listeners, if you don't know, Giselle and I both shared a book recommendation in Diverse Spine. So be sure to find the books we're recommending.
Yeah.
So Giselle, I'm curious, where are you with your holiday planning? I mean, you just gave us 3 great books to read and pick up and gift for the holiday season, but where are you? I mean, are you ready? Have you got all your gifts together, decorating, maybe planning what's going to be on the menu? I mean, what are your holiday plans?
Yeah, so I finished decorating last week because we actually are right now in North Carolina. We're visiting my husband's family in Raleigh. We're here for the week. So I wanted to have everything decorated before we left Atlanta. It made me so happy to put the tree up and all the decorations and everything. I started buying gifts. I had so many to buy. We celebrated both Hanukkah and Christmas. So there's a lot of gifts to buy. So I started early and I'm feeling good about it, but still have some more shopping to do. But yeah, we're so excited for the holidays, spending time with family. We'll be here in Raleigh and in Puerto Rico, which is where my family's from. So very excited for the holidays.
Absolutely. Plus, after last year, I think a lot of folks who weren't able to get together are finally getting together now. I have my sister that's coming to visit too. So I'm looking forward to having a family over the holiday season. Even if they're not there for the holidays and they come before or after, it's still going to be a good time. So definitely looking forward to that as well.
That's great.
Well, Giselle, thank you so much for coming and sharing your book recommendations that readers can get as gifts. And I hope you have a good holiday season as well.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Here to join us on the couch is Taylor Simon. She's a self-proclaimed radical reader who is passionate about discussing how books can create impactful change in our communities. She's also the founder of Liberation is Lit over on Instagram and Twitter, and she also has a website, liberationislit.com. Please welcome to the couch, Taylor Simon. Hey, Taylor.
Hey.
So happy to have you here. I can't wait to hear about the books you're recommending, but I want you to introduce yourself to listeners, tell us who you are, where we can find you, and what you're working on, and just all the good stuff.
Yeah, sure. So my name is Taylor. I use she, her pronouns. I am the founder and creator of Liberation is Lit. I started Liberation is Lit is because I felt like people were talking about books, but I wanted the conversation to be more about how books make us sad, make us angry, like make us want to make a difference in the world. So I started having conversations about how the books I was reading impact how I saw myself as an activist. So I started the initiative Liberation is Lit, and you can find us on my website, liberationislit.com. I have a blog, Activism 101. So I talk about how you can grow in your activist journey and activist identity, and what books you can read more to learn about different social justice topics, and how we can take the stories that we read and the stories from voices that have been marginalized and how we can transform that into change in our communities. So you can find me on Instagram at Liberation is Lit, and join the conversation, join the community.
Absolutely, and I highly recommend you guys check out Activism 101. I enjoyed reading all the information there. It's just so easy, it's digestible. So for sure, check out her website, liberationislit.com. So Taylor, what is the first book that you're recommending readers pick up and gift this holiday season?
My first recommendation is definitely for the budding activist, or somebody who wants to just learn more about community organizing. The Purpose of Power by Alicia Garza. If you recognize her name, she's one of the founders of the hashtag Black Lives Matter. So I read her book earlier this year, actually, and it was so great. It really got me excited to learn more about community organizing and learn more about just coalition building and grassroots efforts to make change in our communities.
Right, absolutely. And the second book on your list is?
Second book is Set Boundaries, Find Peace by Nedra Glover Tawwab. You probably follow her on Instagram. She is a therapist, but I read her book about setting boundaries, and this is great for the giver in your life, the person where you feel like puts other people before themselves and has trouble remembering to take care of themselves. I found her book phenomenal, talking about how to just set boundaries in different relationships and how you can use those boundaries, not necessarily to be mean or cut people off, but really to protect yourself.
Yep, and that's very, very important, especially in today's world. I mean, again, you don't even have to be an activist, just a regular person navigating life. I think you could really benefit from this one for sure. And the third book on your list is?
You Are Your Best Thing, and that was edited by Tarana Burke. If you recognize her name, she is the founder of the hashtag #MeToo movement, and Brene Brown, who you might recognize from her work around vulnerability and her books from that social work perspective. But You Are Your Best Thing is a collection of essays written by Black writers and Black thinkers just about their experience with vulnerability, shame, around just being a Black person in America. The stories are very intersectional. They talk about different other types of identities outside of race, but definitely a great read to just learn about like that vulnerability and that shame piece that has been instilled in Black Americans, but also just like the words are just so beautiful, and like the work was so beautiful and raw and amazing, and I really enjoyed it. It was definitely one of my 5-star reads of this year.
Wow. So what kind of reader or person would you recommend You Are Your Best Thing for? Like, who would that book be a good fit for?
I think the book would, well, honestly, I'm I'm obsessed with astrology and I'm a Cancer, so just love being in my feelings. So if you are like the sensitive type, water sign, definitely can be in your feelings, but also just that person who's looking for like learning more about the Black American experience and just learning how even Black readers learning how race and shame and vulnerability play in your own life.
Right, absolutely. So, Taylor, where are you in your holiday preparations? I mean, you just gave us 3 great recommendations, but how are you preparing for the holidays? Where are you? What are your plans? What do you have going on?
Yeah, so I don't know why I feel like I'm getting such a late start. So I am working on trying to get gifts for everyone. I'm trying to be mindful of like all of the global supply chain issues. So trying to order things early. Definitely have some books on my list that I want to share with people. We do a little adopt a family for the holidays at work, and I signed up to give the daughter books. So I would be that employee to like sign up to give books to the family. So I'm really excited about that. Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you're being mindful of the supply chain issues because, yeah, I started my shopping early November just to make sure I'll have stuff. So I think that's something folks can relate to as well. But yeah, I just really want to thank you so much for coming on the show, sharing some recommendations for readers, helping them out with their holiday gift bliss. And yeah, I hope you have a great holiday season as well.
Yeah, you too.
Readers, I had so much fun speaking with Giselle and Taylor, and I want to thank them again for coming and lounging on the couch with us and sharing some great books for us to gift this holiday season. Because this is the last episode in our 4-part Books to Gift series, I will be sharing my 3 books that I'm recommending that you gift this holiday season. So the first book I'm recommending is How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents by Julia Alvarez. This was Alvarez's debut novel that first graced bookshelves in 1991. It tells the story of 4 sisters, the Garcia Girls, Carla, Sandra, Yolanda, and Sophia. And it tells the story of how their family flees the Dominican Republic and their arrival in New York City. And when they get there, the sisters see just how different their life is in the US as opposed to being back in the Dominican Republic. And while their parents are holding on to the old ways and the culture and their traditions, we see the sisters as they try to find new lives for themselves. Now, I consider this novel to be a modern classic. It's a book I feel everyone should have on their shelves, and I highly recommend gifting this book to readers who are interested in reading stories of family and stories about sisters. I think it's a book that will serve as a mirror for members of the Latinx community who are immigrants, but it also serves as a window for readers like myself who are seeking to read about diverse experiences that are different from one's own. So I really highly recommend this book. I'm also recommending the book this year because it's 30 years since the book's first publication, and to commemorate the 30th anniversary, a new hardcover edition is being published as a part of the Penguin Vitae series. But I think it would be a great collectible item to get this beautiful edition. It's great for book collectors who love fine editions, but again, it's just a great book overall. And the new hardback is a part of the Penguin Vitae series. The second book I'm recommending readers gift this holiday season is The Days of Afriquite by Asali Solomon. Now, this is a novel that's inspired by the classic Mrs. Dalloway, Sula, and Zami. And in this book, we meet 2 women. The first one is Lizelle, and she's having a dinner party, which is strange because her husband lost the electoral race he was running for, but she decides to host a party anyway to kind of thank his key supporters, even though she had reservations about him even being a politician. So the dinner all around is just odd in the first place. But then an FBI agent calls her to warn her that her husband might be facing corruption charges. And in this moment, she starts to question everything about her life and wondering how she'll make it through this dinner party that she's planned. The second woman we meet in the story is Selena. Her life is the complete opposite to Lizelle, and she's just really trying her best to make it through her days. She's reflecting on her life and realizing that the only time she was really, truly happy was with Lizelle back in college. But these two women have lost touch with each other, and we're really seeing just two women at midlife who were once friends and lovers rediscover themselves and just reflect on their life choices. They're reflecting on their sexuality, and they're also reflecting on race. So when I was describing the novel in the beginning, I shared that it was inspired by Mrs. Dalloway, Sula, and Zami. So I feel this novel will be great for fans of Mrs. Dalloway and Sula specifically, because I read both those books and I love them. It's also great for readers who love reading books about female friendship, relationships, coming of late age, specifically midlife, and just readers who appreciate the beauty of a language, because I feel this book was just so well done. It's a new release. I think it's a book that's kind of been flying under the radar a bit, but I think it's just such a beautiful book. And again, it's The Days of Afriquite by Asali Solomon. Now, the third book that I'm recommending readers gift this holiday season is a bit of a fun, entertaining novel. It's a bit of a mystery meets suspense. It's just all around fun. I think this one's super entertaining and it will be a great escape. And it's The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman. Now, this is book 2 in a Thursday Murder Club mystery series. And book 1 in the series is entitled The Thursday Murder Club. And I read that one and I loved it. But book 2, in my opinion, was just even better. So if you've never read the first book, The Thursday Murder Club is set in a posh retirement village, very fancy, where 4 unlikely friends meet weekly to discuss unsolved crimes. Now, together they call themselves the Thursday Murder Club. But when a local developer is found dead, the Thursday Murder Club finds themselves in the middle of their first real-life case. Now, book 2 in the series, which is the one I recently read and that I'm recommending, is entitled The Man Who Died Twice. So now the 4 members of the Thursday Murder Club, they're riding high off their recent real-life murder case. And now they're looking forward to just some peace and quiet in their retirement village. But then one of the members of the club receives an SOS written by a secret agent who's supposed to be dead. And now they find themselves in the midst of another case. So I'm highly recommending this book for readers who love mystery, who are particularly looking for a well-engineered mystery, because this one's really good. I think it was just very clever and witty, but also super entertaining and full of just humor and heart. So introduce your friends and family or just the giftee on your list to the Thursday Murder Club. You can gift them book 1 or you can gift them both books in the series this holiday season. I just think it would make a fabulous gift. So those are the 3 books I'm recommending you gift this holiday season. The first one is How the Garcia Girls Lost Their Accents by Julia Alvarez. I'm also highlighting the special new edition to celebrate the 30th anniversary since the book's publication. And it's that new hardcover collectible that's a part of the Penguin Vitae series. The second book on my list is The Days of Afriquite by Asali Solomon. This is a new release. It's also a book I was highly recommending in the fall reading guide this year. And the next book on my list is The Man Who Died Twice by Richard Osman, also a book I was recommending in the fall reading guide. So those are my 3 books, and I hope you enjoy them or consider gifting them this holiday season. Well, readers, our 2021 Books to Gift series has come to an end. However, the recommendations I've shared and all the readers who've come on the show have shared are great books to gift all year round. So give the gift that gives more and keeps on giving, and gift books. I want to thank all the readers who've joined me on the couch and shared their book recommendations this season. Thank you again to Jen Olsen, Amanda Benwell, Susie Liu, Rachel, Caro, Ali B, Lisa Harrison, Mindy Von Elling, Lindsay Lanza, Giselle, and Taylor Simon. Thank you so much for tuning in to The Reader's Couch. You can find out more about the show and submit your questions for our guest by visiting our website, thereaderscouch.com. You can also connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at The Couch Is Booked. If you like the show, please subscribe, share, and take a few seconds to leave a rating and review. Next week, I'll be back with new guests, more books, and some fun games we can play. But until then, stay lounging, stay reading, and whenever you're in doubt, go straight to your local bookstore or library. Thanks for listening, and happy reading.